Welcome to Evolve, Mastery for Leading a New World, with CEO and award-winning author Yvette Bethel. This podcast is dedicated to supporting leaders with a variety of solutions to build trust, inspire authentic change, and improve morale within your organization. Learn how to grow your people, build your culture, and transform your results.
Welcome to Evolve, Mastery for Leading a New World. I am your host, Yvette Bethel, and I thank you for joining me. There are persons who link their value to their compensation or positions. There are others who are valued because of their ability to play political games in the office. The 6 tips for improving your value to your employer can be used to build your career and make a positive contribution to your teams. These tips work best in environments where employees are engaged and empowered. Tip number 1. Employees are confused when they deliver above average results and demonstrate a positive attitude, and then they're not recognized. In fact, they may even be penalized in organizations that are highly political. Without savvy in this type of environment, your value isn't going to be as high as you think it should be. If you're not the right fit for this type of organization, find one that is less political. On the other hand, there are persons who assume political behaviors have to amount to questionable behavior. This is definitely not the case because it is possible for you to formulate and implement political office strategies without impairing your integrity. So depending on your role, your performance, the environment you're in, your credibility, and your savvy, you can improve your value to your employer. Tip number 2, keep yourself relevant. Invest in your continuous development, especially if your employer is not investing in you. It's not a secure feeling to be suddenly without a job and lacking up-to-date skills. So if you can influence your employers directly or indirectly to support your development, go for it. One way to do this is to volunteer for projects. Volunteering to work on a committee for change can provide you with a wider range of relevant knowledge that can give you an edge. For some, keeping yourself relevant means you need to develop skills that are transferable, no matter where you end up working. Keep in mind the fact that transferable skills vary depending on your role in the company, so you need to identify what they are. For others, keeping yourself relevant means developing a unique ability that's in high demand. Tip number 3. Your networks are very important. The more relevant your network is to your employer, the more invaluable you can become if you can mobilize your network into a value proposition for your employers. Networks are about relationships, so the better you are at building the right relationships, the more value you can add by being a resourceful member of the team. When building your network, remember, negativity and gossip are viral, and you can be infected over time. So choose your associations wisely because they can cripple your career despite your productivity. Tip number 4, demonstrate behaviors that can be trusted. Maintaining your credibility is an important component of this framework. Your employer or partners need to trust you. They should trust you to deliver quality work, to believe in and exhibit corporate values, and to produce the desired results. In engaged work environments, trust is rooted in honesty and integrity, not blind loyalty induced by favors. Tip number 5, high productivity is vital. There's nothing worse than someone who works extra hours who is less productive than others who work for less time. During these times when resources are less available and hard decisions are being made, keep your productivity high. While it's not a guarantee that you'll maintain your job, it does give you higher value and separates you from your coworkers. Tip number 6, be a leader. Whether or not you're in a formal leadership position, develop skills that help you to motivate yourself and positively influence others. Your ability to communicate with confidence and humility with your bosses, your peers, Your direct reports, particularly in complex situations, can prove to be an asset for you and your employer. To those of you who have long tenure with your companies, the value you add may become an entitlement to your employer. They may discount the value of your contributions because of long-term biases or blinders. They just expect you to outperform the pack because your high performance has become expected, so you're not recognized. If you're faced with this situation, you need to make a career decision based on your values. Organizational values are constantly evolving, so your value is something that you should assign to yourself and monitor. Performance appraisals sometimes demotivate persons because they don't always represent the value persons truly add to the team. This is compounded by the fact that there are some who tend to be too hard on themselves or too afraid to acknowledge their real value. On the other side of the spectrum, there are others who suffer from delusions of indispensability. Whatever the case, understand that as organizational values evolve, you should be aware of what they are so you can do what it takes to remain a valuable resource while keeping your integrity intact. Determine your value by seeking an integrative view of yourself. Find out what your friends, co-workers, and detractors think of you, and this, combined with your personal perception, can help you to develop a 360-degree view of yourself, and by extension, your value. Perceiving yourself as indispensable or attempting to make yourself indispensable are not behaviors that are synonymous with team building. So it's important to build your value without detracting from or alienating others. Thank you for joining me at Evolve, Mastery for Leading a New World. I invite you to join me every Monday for a new podcast. In the meantime, always continue to evolve.
Thanks for listening to Evolve, Mastery for Leading a New World. Visit YvetteBethel.com to learn more about Yvette's leadership programs and to download her free gift, Success Tips for Igniting Your Career.